Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. I have a grandson, and when he was very little, maybe 2 years old, he loved the worship song, "This is how I fight my battles." He couldn't even pronounce the words, but he would say, "This is how I fight my battles." And if you sang that, he would start jumping around. This is how I fight my battles. And that's a good question, and a question I want to ask you today. How do you fight your battles? How do you fight your battles? And I'm talking about spiritual battles, battles with other people, just the general battles of life. How do you fight your battles? It's time to step back and examine how you fight your battles. And the book of Psalms gives us instructions in how to fight spiritual warfare, how to respond to attacks by people, by demons, by everything. It's many of the Psalms, if you could put them together, you would find a manual for spiritual warfare. It teaches us how to fight our battles. And David, who was a warrior, a strong man, a great warrior, great leader, won many battles, physical battles, led armies, was one of the greatest heroes of the faith. He knew how to fight his battles. And in Psalm 60, verse 11 through 12, he gives us a key for learning how to fight our battles. Listen with me to Psalm 60, 11 through 12. He's praying to God, "Give us aid against the enemy, for human help is worthless. With God, we will gain the victory, and he will trample down our enemies." David fought his battles by letting God fight his battles. He fought his battles in prayer and in worship. So let's look at what he says there. Let's just break it down. He's praying to God first of all. He's in a situation where he's in a battle. Okay, so he has a choice. What is he going to do? Is he going to be like Saul, who takes things into his own hands when the battle is beginning? Or is he going to turn to God? David knew that he should turn to God when he has a battle. So he begins by saying, "Give us aid." He's asking God's help. And then he says, against the enemy. There's an enemy. Satan is the ultimate enemy. And it appears in many different ways. But he asks God for help against the enemy. Not just Satan, but any battle he faces, he asks for God's help. That requires humility. That requires knowing God. That requires crying out and praying until you see the answer from God. And then he says this, "For human help is worthless." Human help is worthless. Unfortunately, we, particularly in the modern world, particularly in America, the first thing we do is turn to human help. I'm as guilty as everybody. We think we can figure it out. We can resolve it. People can help us. But David makes clear human help is worthless. Then he says, with God, we will, positive, future, we will gain the victory with God. And my friends, that's the message for you and for me today. With God, we will gain the victory. And he will trample down our enemies. We give our enemies to God. He will fight the battle. He will trample down our enemies. Just think of David and Goliath. He fought Goliath. No one wanted to fight Goliath. And he said to Goliath, I come against you not with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord God. He fought that battle in God's name. He let God defeat Goliath. So fight your battles with God. Turn to God. Let God beat down your enemies. You will gain victory if you let God fight your battles. So God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow, and let's fight. Let's let God fight our battles. God bless you.